Heavy netting makes a really useful fence material for a range of applications. Today we're going to attach, strain and clip off heavy netting. So sit back, relax, and I'll take you through a few tips to make your next heavy netting fence super easy. I'm setting up a short fence today on two of the most common types of end assemblies. First, of course, is your timber box end assembly with a round timber post to tie off and strain to. And at the other end is the all popular steel stay end assembly. Not only is it fast to erect, but it's super strong and easy to work with. The main thing with this is get it straight when you put it in, and make sure you do up all the nuts tight before you strain the wires. A top tip for first time fencers is to run out your bottom high tensile wire first, then strain it up and put your posts in. I'm putting these steel posts in at a 4 metre spacing to provide extra support to the netting. Once you've got the posts in, you can put in the next two save wires and get started with straining up your netting. It's really important that when you're fencing with netting, even if it's heavy netting, and this is heavy netting, that you use save wires. One at the top, one at the bottom, and one in the belly is the minimum recommended number of save wires. And I'm using medium tensile in this short fence run, but you might choose to use high tensile on longer runs or with larger animals. And tie your save wires on the pressure side of the fence. That is the side that you expect the most pressure to come on the fence from. That way your fence will be supported not just by your save wires, but your posts as well. When you're running it out, leave a bit at the end and don't forget your speed dealers, because we're dealing with wire. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want covered. Come back here! Now the first thing I'm going to do when I finish running out my heavy netting is come back to the end I'm not straining from and just secure it to the 3 save wires using my Jambro gun. That will keep this in place and nice and straight for our next step. Now that the netting's clipped off, I can pull it up nice and tight against the post, making sure that I keep it nice and straight. Now use a piece of flat steel with 4 pre-drilled holes to screw the netting to your end post before straining it around. This way, with a square post, it's really easy to form it to the post during the straining. Now that we've got this end secured, before we strain up the netting, we need to get it up off the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Jambro again to put one clip approximately halfway along each fence panel. And that'll hang this up like a curtain and let it slide perfectly towards the end under a small amount of strain. The good thing about this stuff is that you can almost pull it up by hand. We just need a small amount of strain. Now to strain up this fence, you could use a set of farm fencing strainer boards like these ones here. They're pretty handy to have in your kit. But because this is such a light fence, I'm going to show you a way to weekend warrior your way out of this job. First, let's use Cocky's measuring tape to figure out where to cut the fence. This takes me back to my Dodgy roots. Right, we want it to go to about there, so that's where we have to cut the fence. And then cut off the remainder of my roll. I'm going to speed this bit up. Wouldn't it be good if you could do that in real life? Let the dodginess begin. Dodgy step 1. Weave a steel rod into each aperture of the netting. Rightio, so it takes a bit of wiggling, but you end up with your rod threaded through each aperture nice and straight on the end of the fence. This is going to give you an anchor point to strain to, but we're not going to use strainers. This would have to be the dodgiest, most hack-filled video I've done for a while. It's really taking me back to my roots. Now it's very different to a lot of other fencing materials where you don't want to overstrain this. You only put a very light strain on the heavy netting, and you stop when you start to get a little bit of a belly out, because what that means is that your apertures are starting to elongate and you'll end up with a really uneven strain. So if you start to get a little bit of a belly in your wire, that's telling you you've gone far enough. If you get an annoying bit of belly at the bottom or the top, just get a second strap and put some tension on where the belly is, rather than continuing to try and overstrain the one strap. What you're really looking for is a straight up and down line of apertures up and down your end post, provided your two end posts are perfectly straight in the ground, which these are, and I checked with a level. Using them as a gauge for tensioning your netting is ideal. Now they're straight up and down, perfect. Now it's important to point out there is another method. Some people just get a piece of wire at this point, line it up with the corner of a set of apertures, staple it in, and then fold the wire over and then re-staple the wire down the front of the post. This works, but it's not my favourite method, because regardless of how neat you are, you're going to end up with sharp dags on the pressure or front side of the fence. To finish off the job at each end, I like to tuck the remaining wire fully around the post and then run a line of clips down, pulling it together and finishing it off on the post even better. I don't know about you, but I just love looking back at a well-finished fence. So with a couple of the right tools, some good quality wire and end assemblies, in half a weekend day, you can keep your chooks in or dog in. If you like this kind of video, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. There's plenty more on the channel. There's a couple of hundred fencing videos, and if you click the link next, you'll get straight onto them.